how hard it is for the rich to enter heaven. Well, none of us has to worry about that, do we? Ain't nobody here a bunch of money. We have had in the past, haven't we? We have. But Jesus says to this poor man, go sell everything. Wow. I wouldn't want to do that. To sell my home that I love, and my car, my clothes. Well, except for a few, you have to keep some. But how hard would it be to sell my treasures? My things that my children have given me, my family over the years. But Jesus said, actually St. Paul said, wherever your treasure is, there also is your heart. Yes, we have possessions, but we have treasures that are worth more to us than our possessions. You know, I'll maybe get a new home someday, assisted living if my kids will have anything to do with it, or taking care of me at their house. I might get a new car, something like that. But what is really important? Well, today in our first reading in the Book of Wisdom, the prophet says, I want wisdom more than I want any earthly thing at all. Gold, silver, whatever. And if we are to know the mind and the heart of God, then we need that same wisdom, the wisdom of heart that comes from within by the virtue of the grace of our faith. That's a gift. We did not ask for it. I mean, we come to Jesus sometimes because we see how other people seem to cling to the hope that is there when they go to church or when they talk about Jesus to other people. But here we are. Jesus tells this poor man to go sell everything and then come and follow me. And the disciples are saying, Lord, who can stand before this? Who's going to be saved? And he tells them, you've given up everything. You will be saved. And you will receive a reward, if you will. On our bulletin today it says, I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. The reason we can is because there's nothing impossible for God. That's how we do it. We can have our strength through Christ. And on the back of the bulletin, I found a little thing on the internet of Jesus standing there, and it says, our strength comes from the Father. So Jesus is telling them that right through him, from the Father, comes our strength. Follow me. All things are possible because I can do anything. So what's bothering us? What's impossible for us? Broken relationships, hard relationships, money problems, jobs, health. It's impossible for us sometimes to fix all that. But it's not impossible for God. And we keep forgetting that God can do anything. And he does answer prayers. There's 4 ways. Yes, no, maybe, and you've got to be kidding. There's just some things that he's going to say no to. But it's only for our good when he does say no. So we have to be these humble. Blessed are the poor in spirit. No. That doesn't give us the right concept. It's Blessed are the humble in spirit. One who are willing to say, okay, God, I can't do this, but I know you can. The humble in spirit. The ones who love Christ enough to trust Him. That's the big deal. We don't trust what can happen because we're afraid. What do we know about fear? When we're bound in fear, the devil's got us. We can't praise. We can't pray. We get so bound up in everything that's gone wrong in our lives or everything we wish we could change in our lives. And the devil's got us. We don't have a way out until we break those chains of fear. And to be able to do that, we have to be willing to take a step. To do something we don't want to do or something we've never done before. But we are able, through Christ, to be able to do it. And down at the very bottom of this thing, you will receive 100 times more now in the present age. If we, St. Anthony said, if we give our life to God, it becomes His life. And He will give us His life. But say it this way. If we give everything we have to God, God's going to give it all back to us 100-fold. That's His promise. In Mark, this is the book of Mark, yes. In Malachi 3:10, give everything into the storehouse that belongs to God. And He will multiply it. If we give God $1, how much money are we going to get? $100. Good math. That is not just math. It's a promise. It's hard to turn loose of something that we have. No matter what it is. Person, family, friends. Turn loose of a baby. That's real hard. But I told the people the other day that I made a mistake when I was talking about Tyler. My little our great-grandson that died was stillborn. And I used to say Tyler was a Down syndrome baby. And then I would change it and say, no, Tyler is a Down syndrome baby. That's not right. Tyler is not a Down syndrome baby. Because before he was born, Jesus found out that he knew all along that he was a Down syndrome baby. He said, no, I don't want him to be a Down syndrome baby. Turn around, back him up, and bring him home. He does not have Down syndrome or anything else that we thought. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff that it could have been. But, the test showed, yes, it was at least Down syndrome. And from his facial features, he was a Down syndrome baby, but he's not anymore. Liam's not hurting anymore. Reverend Gary's not hurting anymore. And all the people that we have lost, Reverend Frank. Just so many dear people that we've had to turn loose of. And death is final. You don't have a choice. When they're dead, they're dead. But with the promises that they had given all their lives to Jesus, then He gave it all back to them 100-fold. And they will give their lives back to us as long as we keep them in our hearts. They're not going anywhere. How do we know where heaven is? You suppose it's up above the clouds? I don't think so. It's right here. I agree. It's right here. Heaven is...
can't see it.
Because we don't look with our spirit eyes. That's right. We can't see it. Just no more than we can see the wind, but we see the effect of it. And when we feel love and when we feel prayers, we know... Somebody told me this one time. It's not the blessings we get from praying for ourselves. Our blessings come when others pray for us. How many times are our prayers for somebody else? Look at our prayer bulletin. This one does it every week, and I guess you do too, because you noticed what was in there. Almost everybody's in there. Because we all need prayer. And if we're praying for one another, we don't have to worry about praying for ourselves because somebody else is already doing it. Healing begins with peace. May peace be with you. What, baby?
I said, and also you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep, I'll take a little